It was the dead of winter in a small Montana town when Jack Miller, a widowed single dad, steered his truck down the long, icy road toward home. The snow had been falling for hours, blanketing the countryside in a silence so deep it made the world feel deserted. Jack's 8-year-old daughter, Emily, was buckled in the backseat, fast asleep after a long day at school. But as Jack rounded a bend near the edge of the old Franklin farmland that had been abandoned for years, he caught sight of something that made him slam the brakes. A woman. She was trudging along the side of the road, snow clinging to her coat, her steps heavy as if each one was a battle. Beside her, two tiny children no older than Emilia were trying to keep pace, their little boots sinking into the snow. And then Jack saw her belly. She was pregnant, very pregnant. He didn't think, he just acted. "Emily," he whispered, shaking his daughter awake. "Stay in the truck, sweetheart." Jack stepped out into the biting wind and called out, "Ma'am, you're gonna freeze out here. Let me give you a ride." The woman stopped, clutching the hands of the twins, her face a mixture of fear and exhaustion. "We broken bar, we don't have anywhere to go," she stammered, her voice trembling. "Please see broken bar, we're trying to make it to the next town." Jack's heart clenched. Whoever she was, wherever she'd come from, she was in trouble. "You're coming with me," he said firmly, ushering them toward the truck. The twins, quiet, wide-eyed, and Pally, climbed in next to Emily. Jack helped the woman in last, noticing how cold her hands were. Back at his small farmhouse, Jack got them warm clothes, hot soup, and blankets. Over the next few hours, bits of her story began to emerge. Her name was Claire. She'd been part of a small settler community far out in the hills. Her husband had died suddenly 3 months ago, and when she couldn't keep up with the work, the leader of the group told her she and her children were a burden. They'd left her with nothing and no money, no home, no family. Jack couldn't believe it. "They just left you in this weather?" Claire's eyes brimmed with tears. "We had to walk. I didn't know what else to do." That night, Jack set up the guest room for her and the twins. Emily, curious and a little excited, whispered to him later, "Dada, broken bar, can they stay forever?" Jack smiled sadly. "Let's just help them for now, kiddo." Days turned into weeks. Claire proved to be more than a guest as she cooked, helped with chores, and kept Emily company. The twins, Daniel and Dacia, began to laugh again, their pale cheeks flushing with color. Jack found himself looking forward to their dinners, to the sound of little feet in the hallway, to the warmth Claire's presence brought into the home. Then, one bitterly cold night, Claire went into labor at 2 weeks early. Jack didn't think twice. He grabbed his keys, scooped the twins into the truck, and sped through the snow to the nearest hospital. Hours later, he stood in the delivery room holding a newborn baby girl, tiny, perfect, and squalling in his arms. Claire, exhausted but smiling, whispered, "I didn't think I'd make it through this winter, broken bar, but you saved us." Jack swallowed hard. "You saved me too, Claire. You just don't know it yet." It hit him then how empty the house had felt before, how quiet his life had been since losing his wife. And now it was full of noise, of laughter, of new beginnings. Over the next months, Jack never asked Claire to leave. She never asked when she should go. The unspoken truth was clear: they had become a family. Years later, Emily would tell people, "My dad went out for groceries one winter and came back with a mom, a brother, a sister, broken bar, and a baby." Jack would just smile and say, "Best trip I ever made." Because sometimes, the greatest blessings don't come wrapped in perfection. Sometimes they're cold, tired, and standing in the snow waiting for someone to say, "You're coming with me." The first weeks of spring came slowly that year, but when they did, the Miller farmhouse was alive in a way Jack hadn't felt in years. Claire's baby, whom she named Hope, was the center of the house, tiny fingers gripping Jack's shirt whenever he held her, soft cries in the middle of the night that Jack didn't mind waking up for. Emily adored her, rocking her gently in an old wooden chair by the window. Daniel and Daisy ran through the yard with Emily, squealing with the kind of joy you only hear from children who feel safe again. But even with the warmth inside the house, Jack couldn't ignore a shadow that hung over Claire's eyes some nights. She never spoke about the settlement that had cast her out, but Jack could tell she still feared they might try to take her children, or worse, come after her. One evening, While washing dishes together, Jack asked quietly, "Claire E. Broken Bar, if they ever came looking for you, what would you want me to do?" She froze for a moment, then met his gaze. "Keep my children safe, even if it means hiding them." Jack nodded, his jaw tightening. "They're safe here. No one's taking them from you or me." It wasn't until early summer that trouble found them. Jack had taken Emily and the twins to the farmer's market when a man in a dusty truck pulled up beside them. His clothes were worn, his eyes sharp. "You the one keeping Claire?" the man asked, his voice carrying a weight Jack didn't like. Jack's grip on the bag of apples tightened. "Who's asking?" The man's lips curled into a smirk. "She belongs with her people. She took something from us. We want it back." Jack's heart pounded. He knew this wasn't over. That night, after the kids were asleep, Jack told Claire what happened. Her face went pale. "They're not going to stop, Jack." He stepped closer, his voice low but steady. "Then we won't stop either. You're not alone anymore, Claire. None of you are." She looked at him for a long time, tears filling her eyes. "I thought we were just passing through. Boat to Broken Bar. This feels like home." Jack smiled faintly. "That's because it is." But deep down, he knew the battle to protect this new family was only beginning.